Yes, sir. Hi, Blue. Hi, Bonnet. How you doing, Bonnet? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be oh girl, Starfire. I'm not gonna hold you though. I do need like more monies for that type of thing. But I am like raising money for my PC right now, so I think that's like a bigger priority for me. I'm good. A little irritated, but fine. Should be fine. Y'all wanna do me a flavor while I'm still getting stuff ready? Yeah. Go retweet that for me, please. I don't know. People just being weird to me today. So, we here now though. We gonna be playing more Beacon Pines today. And maybe a little bit of Rankies later. The way I'm crying at you saying this shit. I got you. Let me see if this works. Damn, that's so loud. Well, I probably won't be able to hear it if I got my what's it called in anyway. So. Oh. Yeah, let me know if I can hear the music. Hello. Hi there. Oh my fucking god. Don't tell me this shit is doing this right now. Hold on. Anywho, I'll worry about it later. How we doing today? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yeah. Most of today I have been what have I been doing? I've been doing nothing but like chilling all day. Like this like mainly what I've been doing. I kinda like slept in like all damn day because I did nothing but I was gonna say, yeah, I did nothing but play video games last night. So or played ranked all last night. So I'm close to getting back in a gold on Apex. So we're still doing a grind to I think to diamond. So it's gonna be like a platinum diamond type of deal. So after like 2 hours of beacon ponds, I think we're gonna go and play a little bit more ranked. I'm not completely sure. I think we are. And I also have to see if this like thing is cool or if our game saved, because I don't know how saving works in this game. But yeah, I'm extremely excited to get back into playing beacon ponds because it's cute, it's creepy, and I think we finally went down the right path this time because the other two just led to utter disarray, and I don't know if we were gonna get anywhere else with this. Let me fix my camera real quick. What the fuck? Yeah, okay. So what are you on about, sir? Come on now. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't, well, then no. I think this works. Yeah, this works. But yeah, so whole lot of chill vibes until it gets kind of creepy. I don't know if I should give a trigger warning because I don't think it's that bad, but trigger warning anyway for some violence, I guess, like cartoon violence. Just kind of creepy stuff, kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, without further ado, let's see if this works. So I don't know if we have to start all the way over. Like, I hope we don't have to start all the way over. No, we don't. Okay, cool. So I think this is when our boys made up. Rolo, and I forgot what his name is. How do I ask the one that express them? I can't talk to you. I listen to our conversation. I was able to return perennial harvest safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. So was he the one that was in the suit? So okay, so if y'all don't remember, I'm gonna give y'all a little recap. Actually I'm gonna go back to the screen for this. So in the beginning we checked out the abandoned warehouse, the fertilizer warehouse, and we think that it's tied to the main characters. I forgot what his name is. It'll come to me soon. But we figured out that old boy's mom is missing. Like his dad is dead and his mom is missing, and we think that it has to do with the old fertilizer place. I think he was the one who was in the who was in the hazmat suit, and the young one there discovered him and was about to be taken away from him. The first time we did get taken away, but I think the second time we ended up escaping just barely because we ended up like smashing that man's hand or something. So I haven't fully seen his hand. I don't know necessarily if it was him or not, but yeah, just a lot of weird stuff is happening. We have a new person who came to town, which we might go back and fix that other option. So everything is about to come back to me, and I'm excited just to be back playing. I don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now, will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy. This isn't going to harm Mr. Kerr, is it? All you need to know is that it's all for the good of the family. I don't necessarily agree with whatever they got going on. And the only reason why I say this is because I feel like a lot more people are going to get hurt. Most of the people in the town are going to get hurt. The kids already were getting, like, one of them got disfigured because of the goo. So imagine if we would have went down that path and, like, folks started finding out. They wanted to hide him because of his disfigurement. A most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. Are they all clones of each other? There go Iggy and old girl. Ha ha ha, every single time. Yup. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Yeah, I feel like they're robots. Like clockwork. What a bunch of drones. Haha. Oh wait, now that reminds me, can I see if okay, so I think the lady in the lady right here who reads a book, she always foreshadows stuff, so I don't know if I talked to her last time. I'm kind of sad now.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey Jeff, everything all right? Huh? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know? I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Bye, Jeff. Okay, so the main character's name is Luca. There's Roxy. I don't know who Perennial Harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. This town's still falling apart. The weather's still cruddy. And the season's harvest looks like it's gonna be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is gonna change any of it. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fits. I'm still gonna be mad at them. I'd rather just be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. I feel like he's just gonna ask for our thoughts. Yeah, welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kerr's speech and the Perennial Harvest Festival sign reveal. You don't want to miss it. I think somebody pulled a prank on it too. How's the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen it as much as a excuvee, and it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't think like they don't just pack up and leave like that. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand.
No, I'm scared now.
If I'm honest, I hardly understand them myself.
Is this from his mom or his grandmother?
But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it.
I'm thinking this is his mom.
God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
Never mind. I'm scared about what this is, though. I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
I want to know what she's talking about, though. Because what's happening? What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we've been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rolo.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
This is what I mean by if they take this much initiative and go through all that trouble, hell yeah, like accept the apology. The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks?
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Bro, what is happening? Can we go? What the? Bro, what?
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason.
I think we have to go back.
So, our story ends on this melancholy
We
scene.
have to go back.
In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together. For the rest of time. The end. No.
What is
that? Can't be the ending. It simply can't.
You know, we have gone through, I think, 2 violent endings. No, 3 violent endings. Can we count this one as violent too?
I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Okay, so hold on, wait. This change in struggle, tickle, shame, fight, light. So do we want to go back to the one where we were fighting on the top of the thing? I kind of don't want to go through that one, but I want to see what the weather will do first, and then we can go and do flight next. Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to... So this is where, damn, I forgot her name. But we went to her house for dinner with her family, and I think we'll be able to get back to Rolo a lot sooner.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rolo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rolo I'd tell him about...
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promising me to tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. Let's go.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe it. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. I don't like where this is going. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I won't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, is that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out villain talk, super villain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Family. Is that our grandmother? Oh, they did talk on the phone the other day. So they both hate Kerr, which I can totally understand. And I think, oh no. Okay.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
Not our grandma on some sneaky shit. I just want to know what is she doing? Like, what we doing, Gran?
Chapter 5. What big ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of the old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. Okay, let's go. I have so many questions because there's so many things that the adults are like doing that don't make sense to me. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard.
I would too, they get on my nerves.
Snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility.
They look like they would.
And broke into laughter as they walked away.
I think that means they already have his soul. I don't want to talk to Mr. Nuncreed. Yeah, I don't trust that man. That man too. That man shady now. What you got for us now, foreshadowing lady? The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? I don't like how, okay. Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. So decaf with extra foam. I don't know. Mental note for that? Can I hear what y'all talk about?
Her and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't like me much, does she? Oh no, that's not at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. Darn tootin' he was.
Kerr lopped his arm on Gus's shoulder.
Unhand me. But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just a festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge and the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Does he live in Perennial Harvest thing? I guess so. All right, let's keep a trucking. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo? He's Rollo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this foul harvest thingy is. No, cause they mention it so ominously and they don't ever tell us what it actually is. It's a kinda long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in the town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was the water. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick? Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon's Pine Reborn Initiative? Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels one town over for a week while they decontaminated the groundwater. I'm trying to read too fast. We better get going. So, do we think that they have something to do with it? Because I don't think like that it itself, like the fertilizer, just has something to do with it. I think, or at least in my opinion, I think that something else would have had to happen, or something else like would have had to happen in tandem with crops not growing. So I wonder what all they had to decontaminate from the town then. I need answers. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rollo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Not the little alarm. I'm crying. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Can I find something to throw at it? Yeah, there we go. That's not where I was. Okay. Look. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. That's actually really cute. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Oh, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So, like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let me go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
They weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine? Yeah, proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine? Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. Hi, Pacific. Is my thing not working? Hold on, wait, my thing isn't working. I forgot. Yeah, let me fix this real quick. Okay, it should work now, maybe. I don't know why things don't want to work. But yeah. So
hey yo.
Oh, see, there it goes. That scared me. And their leaders is your gran, and she tried to murder you. How you doing, Pacific? First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke the person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much. I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your gran before? Not really, no. It's been years since I seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. But are we sure your gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
Hey, Upbeat. I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your gran is hiding something. Oh my god. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If my gran really is hiding something, don't you think I wouldn't have noticed it by now? No. I feel like profanity. Please, Pacific. You thought you were safe. What's that peeled prehistoric goose knuckle thing on the screen? Don't talk about the characters like that, Upbeat. That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. Because he hasn't gone into his parents' room. And he hasn't gone into the closet that his grandma has hidden everything away from. So I feel like that we probably gonna have to check the closet. Why are you like this? So I'm not completely sure. I don't know what's going on. But I just know. I'm just aware. Something is fishy. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. And we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in. Did we even stay out the closet? We gotta go in the closet.
Secret lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
So do we think Grandma is on the good side of this or on the bad side? What time is it? I hate that they like the door sounds so. Now he has the little detective hat. Rollo, what on earth is that? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
I would too, because why you got that damn... why? If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. Watch you ruin a surprise Gran was doing for you. We just like got to a part though where she gave us a letter and then essentially Ice Age happened. So I don't know. I think also in like when we first went through like the series of events, I think where she had to go and talk to her two friends, she had basically was trying to get us to tell her whatever happened, but she was just like, are you sure you don't want anything, like want to tell me anything? And she was like, well, I gotta run out, I got some stuff to do. And it kind of went up from there. So I'm not completely sure. I don't think she has a good surprise for us. And I'm trying to see who's on the right and on the wrong end of whatever's happening in Beacon Pines. Because there's Perennial Harvest that I don't think anybody really trusts. Then the Valentine family, who nobody really trusts. And I'm thinking that there's like a third option somewhere, because I think the Valentine family and whoever else don't like Perennial Harvest. First hunches are for suckers. And blow them up, I'm crying. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat. It may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere your Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes.
It's just water. It's just water. It's just water.
My camera angle is really irking me because it's like it's so high up. Okay, there we go. Thank you for the hydrate. Who has ever thought I am going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the ledge.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face.
Please.
All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
So that's where she probably keeps it where like the little latch is. All right, Rollo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Lucas scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh, hey. Let me just yank on this random teacup in.
As Beck pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Hold on now. Seems like your grand has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only two types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. So more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe. Oh wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Okay, so what do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive. And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your grand making? Okay. She wouldn't have had me walking around town delivering bombs, right? You never know. I mean, only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
Okay. A hint of brown sugar and ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Oh. Aha.
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Miss Fratelli. A grand jam gram? It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? I'm getting sick of these goddamn puns. Cause why? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Okay, so that's one thing. So we know that three of them. So it's Gran, Miss Fratelli, and it's somebody else. I forgot what his name is, but he also owns a store. And I think all three of them are in this. Dossie, you know you love the puns. Hi, Solid. How you doing? Please. They're so cringe. They're so cringe.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter.
Who's Walter?
For a long moment, he just stared at it.
Is that his dad? What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages.
Jesus Christ, Rollo.
He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as these are a lot like hamburgers. Best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a permanent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Oh my god. Rollo is just a character. Here we go. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. I don't know how to pronounce that. I wanted to say Malaysia, but I know that's not the correct thing. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait.
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exasperated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
This makes them so great. Sometimes I just hate puns. Hate too many puns. So I feel like that his dad's death has to be related to something either in the factory or like in the factory or something else. I'm not completely sure what it is, but whatever that was, whatever illness that was that took out Mr. and Mrs. Wilby, I feel like it's related to it has to be related to the factory or something else. I'm crying. That was quick. Hey, Skull. What was you playing? Hold on, wait. Let me see the thingy. What was you playing? Valorant? How did Valorant go? My memory usage was going crazy and my games are stuttering. How much memory are you using? Oh my god. All right, welcome in, y'all. If y'all don't know me, it's fine. I kind of trolled a bit. I'm crying. But if y'all don't know me, I'm Dossie. I'm a variety streamer who loves makeup, story games, and first-person shooters. If you have to raid and run for any reason, you know, we'll be back here. And when you get back, and if I don't see you for the rest of the week, good morning, good night, good time zone. Thank you, Skull, for sharing your community with me. You know, 16 gigabytes, which is why I'm wondering why it's dying like this. Child, you better start clearing. Like, you might have like other like stuff that you need to like clear out, TBH. Cause I know like sometimes when my stuff starts like fucking off on me, I gotta go and like just clear a lot of stuff out. So or clear out some of like the unnecessary stuff. But you know, right now we're playing Beacon Pines and we're further delving into creepy secrets. We just read something about Luca's father because Luca's dad is dead, and I think it has something to do with the fertilizer warehouse. We're not completely sure yet, and we found out that Gran might know some more things but hasn't told Luca. There's a lot of weird stuff is going on right now. So we found secrets in the jam jar. We found some stuff about Luca's dad being a doctor, and now we have a whole entire board that we can look at. Actually, can I hit this? Let's release some. I was trying to see if we could get a charm for it, but I don't think we can. All right, let's check this last thing.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your Gran a serial killer? Cause I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncree has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside of a big circle. My mom's are both on here, both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Aries has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kurt has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means is probably not good. Damn, y'all all in the way.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool. This looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. And if we follow it...
Rolo carefully traced the path with his finger.
It leads right to... Please don't say the treehouse.
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rolo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. At the end of the path, that map has the same symbols as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rolo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Gulp. Did you just say gulp? This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
Oh, fuck. Oh, bother. What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh. Quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps.
I don't like this.
The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
Yoo-hoo! I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
Oh my god. I'm just here to help. Just
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Oh my god, Rollo. Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Oh my god. Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. There was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
Crying. You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver? Yeah, that's who it was.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair.
Oh my
His
god.
hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string.
Why are they...
The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house.
Okay, you want an affirmation? I actually gotta write like 8 more down, but let's... Oh god, okay. Let's shake the little thingy. Put them all in a jar. I gotta get down in there. Down deep in there. Okay. Oh. Somebody got this on the other day too. When I speak my needs, I receive them abundantly. When I speak my needs, I receive them abundantly. I think like when I like first pulled that too, I feel like I don't talk or I don't try to I don't ask for help a lot. I don't ask for a lot of things that I need because I feel like that I'm asking for too much sometimes. That's just me. But I think it's more surrounded around feeling like that I'm either gonna get told no or just nothing will come of it. But most of the time when I ask like for help, I get help. So, you know, ask for help sometimes. Ask for stuff that you know you need. That was beautiful. Thank you. No problem. Hey.
After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Hi, Biscuit.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze.
Oh, God.
I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver.
I just want to know how this man is gonna, how this little boy is gonna proceed.
Without even looking at his captive, he began
It's
with
fine.
a long, blustery drawl.
My day's been fine for the most part. Well, kind of, sort of. I just been chilling though. I ain't really did much of nothing else. Just a little irritated, but other than that, I'm fine. Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Gotta slap him awake. Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance.
Oh, God.
Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver.
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face.
I'm crying.
Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
Oh God, Rollo. I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on now. Let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you,
just water.
hi Smitty.
It's just water.
Looks like you're sweating.
The
Thank you for the
doubtful
hydrate.
expression on Beck and Lucas' faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall.
Right now, we are trying to interrogate Mr. Tolliver. Because apparently we found out that Gran, him, and Miss Fratelli or Fratelli, I don't know why I keep adding an N, are planning something. There are like three factions in town. Or, I don't know, but I'm assuming there are three factions. Oh my God, I can't talk worth a damn. There's Gran and her little crew. They're the Valentines, and then there's Perennial Harvest. So currently, right now, we're trying to figure out what this plan is right here, because we found out that Gran is on some weird stuff.
He slammed the table again.
Now dance. What? I don't even.
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good Lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Spark Plug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Oh God, bro. Watching Dossie terrorize people? I'm not terrorizing anybody. Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Kato, yeah, is it Kato or Kato? I'm gonna call him Kato. Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Hey, Kato. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hung out here so much eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Money? Food? Not them getting like free child labor. I'm crying. Fair enough. What can I do for y'all? We need a favor. I already told you on Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the waitlist for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing. We sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Birth, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they all do date all the way back to when the town was founded. Great. We'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance.
I just want to know, though, is Mr. Tolliver still in the secret lair, and is the door still open to it? Because if so, because I at least would have dragged him out of the house. From what I can know, or from what I know and from what I remember, is that like I think they live like kind of further from everybody else. So I think it would take Gran a minute in order to see Mr. Tolliver and all that. So I probably would have took him just up there on the hill, and I also would have just you know, kind of slumped him over, untied him and everything. Like, this is 3 kids.
Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
Tolliver has to be evil. I don't think that they're necessarily evil. What I think is going on is that like I said, with the three factions that nobody likes perennial harvest. So I know the Valentines and the third unnamed faction are, I think, in terms like this right now. So I don't think he's really evil. I know for sure Mr. Nuncreed is evil, and I kind of want to punch Mr. Nuncreed in the face because he's a part of the perennial harvest faction. So yeah, no, fuck that man. But Mr. Tolliver, I don't think doesn't have an evil bone in his body. If I had to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop out. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Carter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal, and it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing.
Jay Hartford here. I didn't mean to do that. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was the name, Beck? In the obit? Jay Hartford. From the Brooksville Tribune 20 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? Jay Hartford. That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 Jay Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. That's my mom. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your grand is 6 feet under 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
All right, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. Why didn't they not
Luca's
dig him
heart
out?
was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement.
Did they ever close the door is my question.
Dealing with him would be the first order of business.
Yeah, most
Luca shook out
definitely.
his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Hi, Kiko. Can I get a shout out for Kiko Peas? Check on Mr. Tolliver in the basement. Just gone. And the door's still open. Damn it, y'all. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do now? Or what do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. So we gotta go to sleep. Hopefully we can without. You won't even let me close the shit. Oh my god, bro. Come on, let's go home. All right, let's go upstairs. Oh my fucking god. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground.
Bro, what?
Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
It was something meant for Mr. Nuncreed in the jar. Did you? So it was something to subdue Mr. Nuncreed. And when he ate that, oh no. Jesus Christ. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now. Let me handle everything. Girl, you just paralyzed this baby unintentionally.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed.
That boy was slumped.
He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
It wasn't meant for you, sweetheart.
Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed?
'Cause he's creepy and weird.
Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival. All right, come on, boy. Let's go. Run. Run with your stubby legs. That's the wrong way. Where have you been? Grant put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa ho ho. Sly devil. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your grand is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. So we have figured out a lot of weird things now, and I think mainly it's because of
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
It's because of like all three factions are now possibly doing some crazy-ish. Right now, the unknown faction is Graham, Mr. Tolliver, and Miss Fratinelli. And I'm trying to still see, because I think like the Valentines and those three don't like perennial harvest. But I'm trying to see how they're going to do anything pertaining to perennial harvest, or what their grand master plan is supposed to be. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor. I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
I don't know. Gus don't seem like he should be running anything. Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Aw, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
I think it's funny that his name is Kerr. Because, you know, like in olden days or like in old times, they'd be like, unhand me, you Kerr. Like, you know, that man's sly. I mean, he is also a hyena, I think. I could be wrong. Community, convention, commitment. These are all the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, there are pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It is inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
He's gross. From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. And it was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, convention, commitment. Change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that was a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. I'm crying. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. The festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hands in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scuff of the neck and making things happen. If I don't waste all my points on hydration, I'm doing it wrong. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim.
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Our harvest awaits.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time.
What? Okay, so two of these endings.
The end.
So I think we're like getting closer to like a good end.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that.
Well, somebody's a little emotional there.
We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
So we have a few of them. I think we have a new one here, and we have a third option on when we're talking to Mr. Tolliver. So I think instead of trying to be a hard one, we'll be sly. Instead of a hard cop, we'll be a sly cop. I'm sorry, my controller has a thing in it.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation.
But that, well, Rolo is the sly cop, I guess.
Luca and Rolo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Oh. Apparently the rapper Coolio just died?
With
Bro,
a few
what?
Snaps. She roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Moldwell girl. Please, call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seemed there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation.
Jesus Christ.
This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has all of us on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect the kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here too.
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
Destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal's is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we were going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure can finish? You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good, there's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio scan on while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know, I intercepted an odd phrase in Perennial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it? It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
No, she got that down pat. That fucks with Vic. You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried? Covered? Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21. N would be 14. D would be... Ooh, it's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Nika and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Oh? Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's nude rug store. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Please close the door to the hidden layer. I'm scared though, because we know Nuncreed is on some things. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. So can we see if the book lady knows anything? Because the book lady still might be out here. Oh, don't bother. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think
Gus looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so you can make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That was just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secret on us. When all of this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We all have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus. but you will always be just a Gus. Good night, Ears. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Oh no, y'all dumping. It's getting late, children. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that dumping toxic waste into something like into somebody's old warehouse is a good thing or can make any good come of it. Because she's right. The Valentines again will be blamed. And William Kerr knows exactly what he's doing by dumping the stuff there. Now, I'm not necessarily sure that I trust Eris altogether because I don't think the Valentines were all that good either. But, you know, knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate when the villain makes a good point. So I think Mr. Nuncreed is actually gonna try to make some sort of a point, you know. Oh, let's go talk to Dawn, because Dawn might be up around here. Oh no, Dawn's not here. Well, Dawn is probably lurking somewhere, you know, finding out details that we might need.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
That's gross. Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get all the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice, but whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. Scooby-Doo noise? For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Because it is late and I'm trying to see exactly where something... The telephone booth! Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Krieg's Nude Rug Store. I mean, Underground Secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
All right, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground Secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? And now they drop into the floor. I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth
Told you.
dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
Oh, bother.
The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be If the transdimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real. Rollo, at one point or another, you said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these have something written on them. So I'm glad we can finally now see what it's like down here, and it's not necessarily imposing death on children. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Is that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. The town is all farm and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. The thing about Pa, you don't always realize what he means until it's too late. I think what he means is that, like, you can't trust a miner. Hold on, wait. You can't trust somebody until, like, no, you can only trust somebody up until that they hit whatever they need or whatever they're looking for. I think. I don't know. So what are we doing? This suit has a broken mask. So we have found our mysterious warehouse creeper. We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. I feel like it was Nuncreed too, though. If it wasn't Nuncreed, then my second guess would that it was gonna be Gran. I originally thought it was Augustus, but now that we've seen Gran in the suit, I feel like it would be Nuncreed then. Like, it would either be Nuncreed or Gran. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough of Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What is that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. 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 Awesome. You don't need to come with me now. We're going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password, but they love making anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true, I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were all a team, Walt and I. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bound on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us, says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the
Kick him in the stomach! I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know? My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why was she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground layer we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. The fountain, but why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze, and dear God, she's going to freeze us all. So that's what ends up freezing everybody, because they destroy it. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town. Bro, so each and every time what ends up happening is that they go and try to hit the source, and then the source freezes, like just freezes everyone, and they don't know that it's like a big deal. I'm crying, bro.
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carry her gracefully along.
So, are we getting to play as Beck now? Cause I think I'm a little excited.
She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like I it doesn't look like it got on any of us. It didn't feel like that we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Catch up to Nuncreed. Okay, cool. This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow. No, Nuncreed's getting away. No time. So is this like... Oh, fuck. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be most versed on all things Beacon Ponds, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Rolo! Rolo. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy. Here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pond citizens of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. Yeah, this looks just like the town, except for right here is where perennial harvest would be.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
So she came all the way to the other dimension in order, or okay, I don't want to say it's another dimension, but I'm guessing something had to happen for the town, for there to be two towns, and the original town got fucked up somehow. And this is actually, this whole entire town is the source. Bro, I'm freaking the fuck out.
Hello.
Upon closing the distance,
Hi, Pacific,
Luca
you scared me.
recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran, what's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rowanback held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over the torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your wages happen to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions.
Bro, what the fuck going on?
The wind calmed, as if to give him the
Hakino. Yeah, all y'all hush because the baddest bitch is here. You get on my nerves. You get on my last nerve. How you doing? No, so we just uncovered a lot of stuff all at once. Okay, so apparently this is Valentine's doing what? Oh my god. Hi Bones. Oh my goodness, this just got really intense and I don't even know what to make of it right now. So we found out that Gran has her own plan and is now aligned or has an alliance with the Valentines. So her Gran and her other two co-conspirators are trying to blow up the stores. I snuck away from work. I'm crying. How's work? And where have you been at? You just been working? They're now trying to destroy something called the Source, and this is a town identical, like extremely identical to Beacon Pines in every shape, form, fashion, whatever, but just frozen over. And I think this was a town or the original town, and then something happened that got everybody to the other town. But every ending that we have come across freezes over if Gran destroys the Source. Nuncreed, we know, is working for Perennial Harvest or fucks with Perennial Harvest very tough because of Sharper Valentine, who was the mayor and person who founded Beacon Pines. And holy fuck, girl, yes, they working my nerve, please. So I right now am on the edge of my seat because this went 0 to 100 real quick. All the other endings also went to 0 to 100, but this one is well, not even worse, but just a lot.
And in the stillness, he began to weep.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, but I'm invested now. Child, I am too. How have you been? Today was just kind of made me irritated, is all. Just a little on edge and irritated, but other than that, it's been an okay day.
It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly.
I think this is like the peak of my day though.
The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for
I
a
did,
moment with
but I've
warm
only ate once
sympathy,
today.
remembering why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
Hey, Wolf. You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll all see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in my life. If you want things to change, you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
You ate once, yeah. I ordered Zaxby's earlier because I needed food. Damn it, Gran! I got a xenomorph skin on Fortnite finally. I need to actually get on.
Only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror.
AK Bones.
There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from.
Yeah.
Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Okay. Zaxby's is a must whenever I'm not in the Northeast. I love Zaxby's. I still want to try Cane's because I heard Cane's is kind of sort of like Zaxby's. I'm not completely sure. I love Zaxby's though. It's a more ethical choice than Chick-fil-A for reasons. So I've been like really I was just hungry earlier because one, my mom made me loaf, and I've never when I say I never, and I mean I never like meatloaf, or at least when my mom makes meatloaf. Okay, so now that we have a little bit of time, I want to do flight on this one when it comes, because okay, so here is where we fucked up Iggy by mistake. What the hell is loaf? Yeah, my mom makes like meatloaf and I hate meatloaf. At least my mama's, because it's drenched in like tomato sauce and stuff. But I got noodles in there, but I don't have any like actual like another meat to put in there. Iggy Azalea, he's just about as annoying. So here is where we fucked up Luke. We fucked up Iggy because we couldn't find Rollo. So now what we're gonna do to this one is instead of trying to fight, we're going to try to run.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left: flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Well, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kirk, we'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See you, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. We'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire.
So this is the miners part
With
thing.
each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Luca? Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing has bad happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Now, this is a whole nother line of the story. When me and Luca and Rollo ended up getting into one of the trash cans, we found him, and then Rollo got snatched up. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mother was sure a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. So does this mean that his mom is dead?
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. 2 faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. What's the readout? Sitting just about 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Man, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out the letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weep Wood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do.
The boys stared in disbelief at the
Bro,
sign
what?
that now clearly read.
Like, I know
Welcome
now,
to
but it's still like
Pines.
trippy. This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Ponds? How's that possible? We ran away from town, but how did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of this leads to one source. You thinking it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Okay, so there's nothing down here, so I guess we gotta go on the town. But we can't even get to like this other spot.
Each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff that they put around. Looks like the stuff they put up around Weep Wood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Not you saying the xenomorph is cute. Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed, and everyone we ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay. Then give me back my coat, girl.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt.
It's getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a good idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
Nah, bro, this is a lot. This is like way too much. The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because of because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. He not wrong. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. I guess what Iggy's trying to say is that he eventually had it coming. Something was gonna end up beating his ass. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Never mind. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into
He
fights?
shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rollo are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great, but she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh? It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly
Obtuse angle mouth boy talking some schmeck. I don't see now. This is like, I guess this is what kind of makes me feel for Iggy, because I guess Iggy's been feeling not liked, and I can understand why, because he is a bit of an asshole. But you know, Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut. Luca, yeah, I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke.
This is how you remember them, huh?
Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes.
Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this.
The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it.
It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you?
Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand.
Remember what?
The doppelganger pointed to the couch.
The last day we saw him alive.
The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch.
That's not true. He didn't abandon us.
The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively.
Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you.
The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room.
Now, we both know that's not how this went.
He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting.
Do you remember what we did next?
Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister.
Bro?
He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward.
What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them.
Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder.
What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched,
dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca? Is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all.
So potentially whatever happened to Luca's mom is an extension of what happened to Walt. Please, because I'm really into the story. I'm sorry.
Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise.
No!
With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
And that's the last time they saw him.
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarfy-necked furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. Yeah, Luca. Read the room. I mean, let's just all calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? Yeah, because that was extremely pretentious for like no fucking reason. If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait. Do you live here? You might say that. So, you know where we are? You might also say that. I don't like you being vague and all, because that's bullshit. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. Of course it's not. Nah, Iggy, you have to say it like this. You peeled ground beef seasoned orangutan knuckle. Please. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place.
Yeah,
cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood? or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. So, yeah, I was right. This is the OG Beacon Pines. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, I hate when people use big words when they could just say what they mean outright. Well, you can leave that to the miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. Why do you have to use big words as if you're a thesaurus? The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out rough edges, keeping us sane. I don't know what happened to the voice, but I'm just read it. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty? The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
the source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood. Bro, this is trippy for no reason.
The source.
This is simply all too trippy.
Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know.
So we came up here earlier.
Stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here. Alone. In the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply. Just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy? Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
Ah, fuck. We gotta hide. $259K. Follow-up distance still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved the whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Now he started Michael Jackson dancing out. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey, who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover? Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. His merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever is at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And if it's too big to smash,
He flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad, I promise. Bro, this is so much. Let's do this. Like, especially for a bunch of children. Okay, so that's where our house is. I didn't never notice it, but this is where our house is supposed to be. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Yes. Oh, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. It's the fact that a bunch of kids, like, literally nobody wants to let the kids in on this as if, like, kids are not going to understand. And the whole entire time, like, they're still trying to wrap their whole head around it. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy fireworks stuff they gave kids. Good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
He's the one who set the chicken coop on fire. No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yeah. Yep. Wanted to give you guys a little scare, but like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under that tree. When I came back for them later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Nah, that's wild. That man shit the kid. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who's in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. The phlegm that was behind that, I am so sorry. There was no phlegm, actually. It was just, I don't know how to explain it. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. Mind your business. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast off, loser. Alrighty, here's the source. But I think this also ends in ice.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
I'm scared. Echo! Echo! Whoa. I can see why they wanted us to move us all out of the town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Do it now! Just end it in ice! Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats is cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It's really something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collected the unrefined
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. So even he don't know why he doing this, and he just doing it like he did this. He doing this for a check. But I mean, you would too for a check. I mean, not really. But yeah, I just want to know how much he get paid. Because this seems like a lot. And I do mean a lot. A lot. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh, bother. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialities. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. Up, up, up. It's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You can all head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here. I don't like that though, like that they walked backwards. It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
Oh my god.
Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How, what channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the Clippers will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr is out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Iggy! Iggy! Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. How old are you? You should have heard me sing the part of Phyllis Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Oh my fucking god. At a time like this? Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's
I forget that some of
began to
these
cramp.
give us...
His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Ain't no way this little kid is finna essentially commit suicide. Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Oh my god. Oh my god. Should we? I don't know if I should. I don't want to, but
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request.
I don't know. What is...
With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. Oh my god.
Were swallowed by darkness.
Oh my god. Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Oh my goodness. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. no way. Ain't no fucking way. Curious. Ah, but of course, those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend sacrificed to save this town. For a little while anyway. How? Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and fireworks made the whole freeze over. That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. So every time Gran would throw the torch in there, it was way too much energy overflowing the source. And it would be too much. That's wild. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case. Well,
We have some idea what that would look like.
it will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy his precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you're going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west.
I want to know that in every other scenario, we freeze over and perish. But because Iggy gave us a great, I want to redo that though, but Iggy gave us a great, and I do mean a great source of stuff. Fireworks. And it just freezes over and nobody else dies except for those two. That's wild.
Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow.
But I'm glad Kerr's gone, because fuck Kerr.
Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny.
So I hope we find Rolo.
To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What?
Revenge served cold.
What?
Second time's a charm?
What?
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
So we don't have anything for that yet. Okay, we're gonna do the one with Iggy first, and then we're gonna go back and home, cause
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair.
I hate him so much.
Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Okay, so now we can go and do this one. That one was ugly.
And in the stillness, he began to hum.
That was very anticlimactic. I thought it would have went further, but whatever.
After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
You can like barely hear it. Let me see if I can hear it.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
Or this gonna make me cry, please. Aww. Hold on, wait.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who call me that are Dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
So did the serum, like, did the stuff, like, make her older? Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom!
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Oh, Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca.
Bro, what is going on?
In an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting some answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized we were in the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do? You have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We got a party to crash. I have an idea, though. But they don't know anything about it, so... You don't understand. He always wins. I don't like
9.
this.
The devil you know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time.
My bad.
Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod.
No, this is wild.
Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. And I am tickled pink that we all will be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This sound has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. Turns out I'm back because my work tried to pay me in pyrobotic fizzy drinks. Bro, what? But hi, Siru. How you doing? It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Miss Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see this festival is a sham? An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so she can get the help that she needs. Oh, see? She's not the one who's disturbed. Okay, Nuncreed. You two-time clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is, okay, Solomon. This is that's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Bro! What? The ever tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You have been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
This is so much to take in at one time. To know that Eleanor has like got exposed to whatever that goo was in the beginning is just fucking wild to me. Nuncreed had the chance to just tell like little Solomon to fuck off and tell everybody the truth, but he's still sitting there with his head down, being a douchebag. He was so ready when Luca knew everything. He was so ready to like throw him under the bus and send him to like the underground secret shit. But now all of a sudden he's still under their thumb, and he doesn't not want to be under their thumb. Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt that little party, but alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. So then what about Aries? Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow
Recompense, I think. Founder, you are most gracious. What the fuck? Is Solomon sharper? Did they? This is fucking stupid.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. A hushed horror gripped the crowd.
Bro, what the fuck?
This is a story about change.
What? No! Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. The festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Bro, what the fuck? Ha, wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
How did he do this? Sharper, you malicious bastard. So we got a new term. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. And we ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr?
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
This is so fucking... I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. I just watched Coco again and I fucking cried again. I'm crying. Daddy, I gave you both the greatest gift of a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But I silenced Augustus, an adult is speaking. See, me personally, ain't no way. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you failed me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense, the people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. See, and that's crazy because like he had every chance to say no and his friend even got killed over it. He witnessed it. He probably witnessed it and still sitting here just being a dickhead. Only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No shade. No matter, cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? Ha! You think that puffed up blatherskite could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride.
Bro, what the fuck is going on? So is the goo that we found... I guess the goo that we ended up finding wasn't all that was, I guess, just discarded and we didn't know what the fuck it was supposed to do. But this shit here, all of this is wild to me. I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. They found my ass, Dusty. Please, where they find you at?
He'd planned this.
I gotta go.
So long,
All right.
but now,
bye,
at the
Kino.
date's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Shit, Kino. You and these Michael Jackson moans, I'm crying. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Yeah, because he's a fucking actor whose career never took off and he had to like be in something fucking villainous in order for it to. Nobody cares. Patrick C. Montesquieu. Thespian extraordinaire at your service. I know he's terrible in auditions. I just know it. I just fucking know it. I found out I want to thank you again for this opportunity. It was truly the role of a lifetime. Wait. So this Bill Kerr was a patsy the whole time? When I tell you I fucking hate Rolo. Cause why he say that? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I just want to know who was actually talking to the clipboards though. Cause ain't no fucking way I was gonna tell them what the fuck I was scared of. Unless there was like a bunch of surveillance or something, but like I wouldn't have talked to their asses. I'm like each and every time, no. Nope. Nope. I'm not afraid of you. Ha, the young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had a moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. I'll never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now, time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought, but well worth it. Ha.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat, let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end.
Ain't no way.
This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
So we get to change this part. Where Nun Creed tried to put us down the damn hole. There was a malice lurking behind those eyes.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes.
No, I'm too.
Like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this all to be over. Of course, I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I checked for Rollo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. Hey, fuck you, Nuncreed. No, fuck Nuncreed, bro. These festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did something, a little something to spice things up? Oh, so this is when they go and like fuck up the, like make the sign say Sharper Valentine. I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Even though I guess they just made it to... I don't know what the fuck they did. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modewell. I work here now. I am unable to locate you off of our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Oh, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Whoa. You could get a wrench noggin sneaking up on... Wait, you could get a wrench to the noggin sneaking up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's junking, Sonny. Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of late to be junking? I might as well ask you the same thing. Find anything good? Ever since Perennial Harvest moved in, the junk is trash. You can learn a thing about a person by looking at what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded paper and coffee cups. Well, I better get going. I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing. See what? Exactly. I fucks with Jeff. Okay, let's go to the treehouse. So I think in this scenario, we still have the walkie-talkie. So I guess we can connect it to the radio up here. Rolo?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rolo! Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse.
This boy be having some weird dreams, bro.
This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Lucas stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket, a keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. "Wait?" Another voice spoke out.
Oh, my bad.
As Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me."
Jesus Christ.
Luca turned to look at the older version of himself.
Imagine being 12 years old having dreams like this.
"And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense?" Through his tears, Luca laughed. "I think so." His father pulled him in for an embrace. "Time to go, Buckaroo."
Jesus
Startled from his
Christ.
dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Lucas sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open.
Jesus Christ.
Chapter 5. Dangers big and small.
What is going on? There are so many different paths to this story, and I'm just so...
Lucas stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Not as Rolo! Stop right there! Or I'll... Sheesh, I know it's dark and all, but I figured you recognized me. Who are you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rolo. Nice try, but I know you weren't Rolo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. If it really is you, prove it. Flaming chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him.
Is he?
Something about him was undeniably Rolo.
He's a dude, bro. Hold on, wait. I need to go take a little bathroom break, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna play a little more and then I'm going to go and see if there's some more food in there. Something about him was undeniably Rolo.
Only bigger, older.
Oh, bother.
Changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into some people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. Where did they take you? Don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all look big.
Rolo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower, but beggars can't be choosers. Rolo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet too? Dang, Pa just made me some new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rolo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! Rolo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like licorice. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Whoa, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome. Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. You don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched, and I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger, huh?
Rolo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Oh, damn. Hey, fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rolo dove behind Luca.
Ah, that cover. Did I come back at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I don't know where else to go. You're just hanging out with your large adult friend? No, this is my buddy Rolo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry, you're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rolo. Beck, you think you said something bizarre happened? Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rolo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rolo. This has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from my mom's chemistry set. From the chemistry set my mom gave me. Oh, God. Just need to play it cool and hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You're the one who said change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like a grade A creep. Beck, he is! He and his weird cult personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. And it means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough for her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. These people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains, you'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nelly come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey. But that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more,
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. That's so ugly. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, the town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great. Can we get back to the story now? The next part is a bit important. Is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. So nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Modwell seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor? Her work must be complete before the festival. And make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir? I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the end game, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to perennial harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit. Oh? It's just we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I want what's best for you. I am eternally grateful that you've done for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah, as far as we know, Kerr is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we have an even topper banana on the field. What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and work and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. It seems like Nellie's predecessor got loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of there before the festival happens. 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? And the creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. She's not coming out. We gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this will help. You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome map from my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area and there's a big room marked founder's office. It even has the exits marked. Guys. We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is, right?
Started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6. The Heist.
I'm crying.
They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in 1 day, and they each had their assignments.
All right, quick recap. Rollo, you're gonna talk to Roxy. Cordially. With her and Fitz, this whole thing could go bust. Me, cordial is my middle name. And how do you plan to explain your
He
new
waved vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
circumstance? She'll be so happy I'm alive she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure Ilona won't just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it? She'll listen. Once she understands the dangers Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay. That leaves me with Jeff, then Iggy. How are you gonna persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and...
Well, Godspeed. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I'm gonna tell you, this is a lot to take in a whole full 3 hours. Let's find somebody to write. Oh, Kiana just got on. Actually, wait, no. You know who we can go see? You can go. What you need? I was gonna see if we was gonna play Apex, but I kind of want to do that offline. If we are. Could have just replied to me, but yeah, I'll probably talk to you in DMs in a second. So, or in Discord. Yep. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out today. And why is my thing? What is going on? I see it. I shall be back tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be ranking in Apex tomorrow, cause I don't feel like being on camera if we rank tonight. So thank y'all so much for hanging out. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Hopefully I see y'all tomorrow. If I don't, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all week. Bye.